ACCA salaries in India. This has been such a constant question over so many years, and if you actually go and see some videos or you go on Google and search, you will find such a broad range of fresher being able to earn 15-20 lakhs, and probably a quite varied number, because in some cases people use global websites, and then when you're earning in pounds or any other currency and you convert it into rupees, it sounds like a different number. You'll have heard about people around you earning something. You might see posts on LinkedIn, but in this video we're going to cover the actual industry numbers. No fluff, none of the other confusing things, only what is the ACCA salary in India, what are the possibilities, and what can you do to actually try and increase your value in the marketplace as an ACCA. Alright, let's jump into it. Well, first and foremost, let me break down something that's like a myth, right? There are 6 factors that depends on your initial fresher salary. What are they? Well, number 1, it's your base qualification. Are you a BCom plus ACCA? Are you an ACCA pursuing BCom? Are you a BCom pursuing ACCA? Do you have an MBA? Do you have a CA? Have you cleared inter-CA and then dropped out? What is it that your base qualification is? That makes difference, number 1. Number 2, where are you based out of? Your geography. Are you in a metro like a Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, or are you in a tier 2 city? Because companies in all of these offer different rates because obviously of the living requirements. Number 3, what kind of company are you interviewing in? Is it the Big 4? Is it the Big 6? Is it an MNC? Is it an Indian large company like a bank? Is it a startup? Is it a family business? All of this also changes the initial salary bracket. But none of that means you can't eventually reach a point which you are currently thinking about for your life. Don't think about only the first year, right? Think about the 5th year and the 10th year, and maybe you will start looking at things differently. Next, point number 4, your prior experience. Do you have internship experiences? Like, for example, before I jumped into finance and accounting to learn and to work, I was working in an event management company that had no relevance to my actual work, so nobody counted that, right? But again, have you worked in your father's business or your relative uncle's business? Have you worked in a small company and done a lot of work? Do you have relevant work experience? Have you worked in the finance and accounting domain already for some reason? Have you worked in a startup and have you tried to do something? Before I went to PwC, I had also experienced myself with teaching. So is that something that you have done? Again, prior experience makes a big difference. Next, a 5th but very underrated skill are your interviewing skills. Just think about this. There's one vacancy in a company. You and I both go to interview. Right? Both of us have we are both qualified, we both the same age, we both have the same kind of caliber, we are both from the same geography, and we both have the same kind of experience. Now, how will the company decide, right? Well, interviewing skills. How do we present ourselves? How are we likability wise, right? How are we making the interviewer feel? What confidence are we portraying? How are we? See, the crux is always going to be your technical ability, right? The academic understanding, the core questions that are technical. But it's not always about that. People want to hire people they can feel they will be able to work with, enjoy with, and of course, fundamentally, they have to have the capability of the technical bit. That's a given. But if you're good at your interviewing skills, you prepare, I have so many students who really mess up over here because they just don't take it seriously. Virtual interviews are taken very wrongly, very, very lightly, not worth it. But if you do this well, even amongst others, maybe even if you lack somewhere in certain other skills, but if your interviewing skills are high, you will have a higher chance to get selected. And finally, the market conditions. When COVID hit, after it sort of settled down a little, there was a burst in certain finance profiles, which have since then normalized. And like that, there are things which have come up since then, most obvious being AI. But if you understand, when you're deciding to enter the job market, the timing of that also factors into what kind of salary you are offered. So these are 6 points that are important for you to know, that that matter when it comes to your salary bracket. So guys, just to conclude, let me give you a realistic trajectory. Let's assume you're 18 years old, you started ACCA and you're ready to work the way I have explained. Well, in the first 3 years that you take to complete ACCA and graduate, and if you start working from year 1 or year 2, do not expect any significant salary, right? It'll be a few thousand rupees a month, because at that time you are nothing. The world is giving you an opportunity. You should absorb it for the work, not for the salary. But let's assume you do this. By the age of 21, you're a graduate, you've completed your ACCA, and you should have relevant work experience. In that case, as an ACCA member, you can get anywhere from 6 to 12 lakhs, maybe a little more, but upfront, right? That's what you start with. Every year, you can expect minimum of 10 to 20% hikes, maybe. Right? It can be higher depending on how you perform. It generally cannot be lower, most likely. Or you make strategic switches in your companies. I have seen that by the time you are 30, your salary can range from 30 to 50 lakhs. And as you go higher and higher, I have somebody who's in their mid to late 30s. He's a CFO of one of the largest securities, commodities companies in Bombay, in India. And he as a CFO, obviously with his ESOPs as well as his salary bracket, he's earning in crores. So it does get to that level, but again, these are anomalies. If you aim well, remember by 30, try to go into 30 to 50 lakh range, and then beyond that, it's completely open, right? How well you perform, where has life led you, what profile are you in, are you getting opportunities for overseas, are you switching companies, all of that will be factored in. So, to conclude again, guys, A, it is important to know about salaries, but B, it is more important to understand that that will mostly be in your control. It is only the fresher salary that you can depend on the qualification on. After that, it is all about you. So with that, I think ACCA has provided lots of us a lot of opportunities. The lazy ones obviously get filtered out because they cannot work so much for a low salary in the beginning, which is the due that you have to pay. Right? Eventually, when you're going to start working, you will be given what the market decides your value is, and that's not going to be anything major unless you've gone through the grind. So guys, if you found value in this video, then please give us a thumbs up, and if you'd like us to make any other videos, leave it down below in the comments.